सगळ्यांना कळलं GS मेडिकलला होता येतो किती पराग सबनीस My wife has not come. She is a life coach. You can have oxygen. Positive look. It's correct. But the cardio भरपूर
Hope everyone's seated. If not, please do take a seat. If anyone hasn't taken their return gifts, their tokens of appreciation, please do so whenever we have a recess from the event. Yeah. So let's formally begin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We extend a warm welcome to all of you to the launch of the book Lymphocyte Immunization Therapy, LIT, in Reproductive Failures, New Horizons, authored by Dr. Mohan Raut and Dr. Mugdha Raut and published by Springer Nature. This is Ashwin Pantula.
And this is Nupur Raut. My wife and I are extremely happy to be your hosts for the evening.
All right, moving on to the next page of my speaker notes. Thank you all for your blessings and your attendance at this event. We'd like to mention that this book and this event have also been blessed by none other than the Governor of Maharashtra. First slide, please. All right, moving aside, an extract from a letter addressed by the Governor to Dr. Raut reads as follows. I am pleased to note that the book has provided an in-depth analysis of the theme topic, covering the relevant literature and providing clear and concise explanations of the various concepts. I wish and hope that the book will be found useful by medical professionals, researchers, and policymakers, and will help improve the lives of millions of people who suffer from reproductive disorders. I congratulate both of you for your invaluable addition to the literature on this subject and wish you both future endeavors. Warm regards, Ramesh Bes.
Now, before we move on to business, I would like to mention something very special about this weekend. This weekend has been special to the Raut family for nearly 3 decades. On 15th April 1994, my in-laws had their first child, my wife Nupur. On 15th April 2001, they had their second child, my sister-in-law Natasha. And today, on 16th April 2023, they're introducing yet another child to this world, which is their very first book on LIT.
Well, this is a very special book. We also have a very special audience member here with us today, whom we would like to acknowledge at the very outset. My grandfather, Mr. Krishna Raut. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. He's almost 92 years old. And if he hadn't passed on his love for reading to my father, would we even have this book today? So my Azuba is a bit shy. We're not calling him up on stage. But can we have another round of applause for this amazing gentleman here in the audience? Thank you very much.
Okay, so we've spoken about the Raut family. The two of us are hosting the event, and we've just said hello to Nana Azuba also. And all of this is starting to look like a family event? Well, in some ways it is. Firstly, obstetricians and gynecologists, who make up a large part of the audience today, are very much in the business of helping people start a family, right?
Secondly, as you all know, each of you are part of a very, very big extended family that has helped and supported my parents throughout their journey. So thank you to one and all.
And as the night unfolds, we will hear from several experts about what makes this book so special. But let me assure you, this is much more than a family event. For the obstetricians and gynecologists in the audience, we are very sure that the cutting-edge developments in reproductive immunology, which this book talks about, will greatly benefit you and your practice. And for those in the audience who aren't doctors or obstetricians or gynecologists, well, many of you either have or are about to experience the joy of parenthood firsthand. And this book is a big step towards giving more and more people the joy of having their very own child. And therefore, I would like to welcome on stage Dr. Mohan Raut to talk about how this book was conceived. Please.
Thank you, Nupur and Ashwin. At the onset, let me welcome you all for this special event of launch of our book. We are starting this event with the chief guests yet to come. With their permission, we are going ahead. They will be reaching in a few minutes. So I have taken this liberty to start this program. So today is the launch of our book. The title of the book is Lymphocyte Immunization Therapy in Reproductive Failures, New Horizons. And it is published by none other than Springer Nature, the most prestigious publisher for medical books. Here, I would like to say something about how the book has conceived, as Ashwin said. And talking about the book, it takes me back to 2014. We were attending the conference of European Society of Reproductive Immunology in Budapest. There we met a research scientist who had come to present his work in immunology. So when we met him, he wanted to know more about our work. He was quite keen to know about lymphocyte immunization therapy. And the 3 days which we were there, we had a lot of discussion about the subject of reproductive immunology and lymphocyte immunization therapy. After that, a few years passed. One day, I received a call from the same research scientist. He said, "Can you write a book on lymphocyte immunization therapy?" We were surprised. Book? For whom? He said, "Doctor, I am associate editor of Springer Nature. And we know about your work that you have been doing in lymphocyte immunization therapy. So, and we have discussed this with our head office in Springer, and they want you to write this book. And yes, they want you to author this book and not just edit it." That was a great thing. It was a great opportunity. So he went ahead and he said, "But first, you will have to prepare a table of contents and prepare one chapter completely, which will be a complete chapter, and you have to send these things to our office. Then it will be sent for reviewing by independent reviewers, and if they approve, then you can go ahead with the books." We said, "It's a great opportunity, let's start." So we went through all the references that we had, all the literature that we had, prepared a nice table of content, and the chapter we selected to send was Immunology of Pregnancy. And the details of immunology of pregnancy, we prepared this chapter with references, and we sent these things to Springer. A few months passed by. Then one day, I distinctly remember, we were in Lalita Mahal Palace, Mysore, with Mugdha's uncle and aunt from Australia, when we received a call from Springer. "Doctor, your book is approved and you can go ahead with it." So it was a great moment for us, but then the real work started. The tedious work of collecting all the references, all the information related to the subject. It was difficult because there was no single book which had covered this topic so far. And we had to collect all the references and related material through internet and through different libraries, and we compiled that data. Now that compiled data had to be analyzed. So it was a great job, and me and Mugdha went through this systematically, and we prepared chapter by chapter the entire book. Now the book was ready. Hello. I think Dr. Nandita Palshetkar is here, our chief guest. And yes, with Dr. Rohan Palshetkar, yes, future Foxy president. And we are awaiting Dr. Rishikesh Pai, who had just informed that he is reaching in a few minutes. So, we were discussing about how we went ahead with the book. We collected all the information. We prepared chapter by chapter the book, and we sent it to Springer. Then we got information. We got an email from Springer that the work is done properly, but it has to be tested. It has to go through 2 more tests. One was test for plagiarism, and second was later on the proofreading. So we were very sure about plagiarism because there was no literature or no concise work on this particular subject, and that went on very smoothly. But the proofreading was the most difficult part. Then me and Mugdha, we decided every day we will get up between 5 and 7, we will go through this proofreading process. And let me tell you, it was a great experience working together for proofreading. And of course, Springer has an excellent online correction proofreading system, which helped us a lot. So finally, the book was ready, and it was sent to Springer, and the process of production started. And then the Springer team took over, and in no time, the cover was ready, the book was ready, and we were informed that book is ready, and you can now go ahead with the launch of the book. But we had different ideas. We wanted only particular chief guests to be there for the launch, and until they are available, we said we will not launch the book. And so we were after our chief guests for months. And of course, they are really kind, very good friends of ours. So they said, we are not required. You can launch this book with senior doctor, Dr. Usha Krishna is there. Of course, Dr. Usha Krishna had come, but she had to leave for some urgent problem. And so then finally, we decided to go ahead with this launch program. And looking back, I realized that we got this opportunity to write the book, but this was possible only because what work we have done in this field over last so many years. We have our center for 10 years. Before that, we were, initially we were part of a multicentric study, international study. Then we were doing it at a different center. And last 10 years, we are doing at our center. So I realized that the reason we have been able to, or we got this opportunity to write the book, and the credit goes to my wife, Dr. Mugdha, for her vision to start our center. Because there was a time when lymphocyte immunization therapy used to be done, the center was stopped, and there was no place it was being done. And it was at that time that our chief guest, Dr. Nandita and Dr. Rishikesh, were after us, that you have to start this, and this particular process is helping so many patients worldwide. Dr. Rishikesh said that come what may, you have to start this center. Our patients must be benefited with this, because abroad this treatment is very expensive, and for our patients to afford this, we must have it here. And that's how this center started, and which gave us the opportunity to write the book. So before going ahead, I would like to share a short film about our center, and can you please?
I'm Dr. Mugdha Raut. I'm a practicing obstetrician and gynecologist since the last 31 years. Our vision is providing compassionate fertility care, spearheading innovation and research with specialists in the field, pursuing standards that set benchmarks in the industry, and partnering with experts to offer our patients best solutions towards successful parenthood.
Hello, I am Dr. Mohan Raut. I am a practicing gynecologist for last 33 years. To fulfill our vision, we have our mission. We have made our life's work the mission to help couples become successful parents. We dedicate ourselves to necessary research and innovation to follow our vision. We are committed to creating a strong ecosystem and building capabilities within the industry for our vision.
The process of LIT is there for many years. We have modified the process so that it is required to be done only once. Patients not only from India but from various countries like Ireland, US, UK, Australia, Germany, Poland, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka have been benefited here with LIT treatment.
So I had my lymphocyte immunization therapy treatment in Dr. Raut's help. Thank goodness I got pregnant after 2 months, and the pregnancy went to full term without any other complications, and I delivered a baby.
There is a very simple, cost-effective and safe 5-step process one has to follow. 1. Book an online appointment for consultation. 2. Get investigations done in your local area. 3. Visit our center in Mumbai for a 3-hour, one-sitting LIT therapy. 4. Online follow-up. And 5. Experience parenthood.
So, are you ready to fulfill your dream of parenthood? Thank you everyone. I'll hand over the mic to Ashwin and Nupur.
Currently, Dr. Raut's Center for Reproductive Immunology has centers in Mumbai, Nagpur, Pune, and an international center in Kuwait. They have also tied up with Apollo to open 5 more centers across India, which is a great news. Congratulations on that.
Okay, they travel so much, I'm very glad they finished their book before they started traveling to all these centers. But now that our chief guests are here, I'd like to call upon our first guest of the day, Dr. Nandita Palshetkar. She's an IVF specialist and the current president of ISAR, the Indian Society for Assisted Reproduction. She's also medical director of the Bloom IVF group and heads 7 centers all over India. She's a recipient of the fellowship ad Undum of the RCOG, or the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. She has received several awards. Let me tell you, I've read Ma'am's CV, including the MOGS Dr. B.N. Purandare Outstanding Service Award for the year 2020-2021. Also, a welcome interruption, Dr. Pai. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. It's very nice to have you here. So going on, I was just introducing Dr. Palshetkar. Yeah, again, ma'am, we could go on about... As I said, very welcome interruption. So glad we have a full house. Yeah, again, ma'am, we could go on about your many achievements. But for now, we request you, ma'am, to come up on stage and say a few words. And for Dr. Mugdha Raut as well to felicitate ma'am before she speaks. Can we have a round of applause, please? Thank you.
You go.
I think this is home ground. I can see all familiar friends sitting in the audience. But of course, formally, Dr. Rishikesh Pai, President Foxy. Mohan and Mugdha, thank you for inviting me here. Our President MOGS, Dr. Niranjan. and all my dear friends. I think everybody, I can see a lot of faces, and I'm so happy to be here. Today is a wonderful day. I think I met Mugdha and Mohan a long time ago, especially when they were working with Dr. Usha Krishna and they were doing this trial. And then down the line, we all started working in Bandra, and then we connected over difficult patients. I think that's where this journey started. And that's where we got together, that the difficult patients needed difficult answers, and that's where we started working together. And actually, Rishikesh was the one who actually first ventured in, and then we started exploring the whole thing, and a lot of our patients went in, and this. But let me tell you a funny story that happened. Recently, nowadays we get patients who are previous IVF failures. Most of the patients go to the local neighborhood center, Ganpat treats them and he gets them pregnant. So only failure patients reach us, 5 failures, 6 failures. So when the patients come to me, one of the patients came to me and I looked at them and I said, okay, I do a lot of precision medicine also, so that's one of the tests that I do. And I said, yes, I want to do this immunological test. So I said, I have a friend, you go to their clinic, Dr. Mohan and Dr. Mugdha Raut. Oh, we've got an appointment with them in the evening. So I think, the awareness is spreading, and I think I'm glad that the whole thing is being spearheaded by both of you all. And there is a niche group of patients which actually requires this. And believe me, these couples have been through a lot of difficult time. And I think, when mine and Dr. Pai's journey has been like that, where we have grown laterally rather than a vertical growth. And I can see the Raut couple now going into lateral growth, starting Pune and other centers and now tying up with Apollo. I think that's a great sign, and congratulations. And this book is the culmination of your hard work. So I'm really happy and to be here, and congratulations. And this plagiarism is a horrible thing, so it's fantastic that you all were the first ones to write it. So it saved you a lot of trouble. Trust me, we churn out so many books. I think last night Dr. Pai released some 25 books in the Foxy Managing Committee meeting. It's a horror. It's a horror. And the proofreading is terrible. So, but it's good that you all are still together after proofreading this book. So either Mugdha is very patient or you're very patient. So I don't know. Anyway, congratulations. I mean, I'm really, really happy, and I'm happy that, cutting edge technology always takes time for acceptance. And I think you've really prodded, worked very hard to reach where you have against all adversities. And that is what I admire about both of y'all, really. I mean, there was disbelief, there was no, people didn't believe in the therapy. And now there is a space created. And that is what is the beauty of, innovation in our field. And being in this field, I think it's fabulous. I mean, a lot of things are there, they have their niche presence everywhere. And that is what we as physicians need to have, a very open mind. Keep our vision really broad-minded so that you can accept things and, do the best for your patients. So thank you. I won't take too much time, but thank you very much. And I'm really, really feeling very nice with the honor that both of you all have given me. So thank you very much. And Rohan actually drove me here because no driver today. So thank you, Rohan, for bringing me here. But I'm really happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and particularly for talking about how persistence always pays off. Niche, and initially there is a lot of disbelief, but if you persist with that, it pays off. So that's a lesson. I would like to now introduce the other chief guest of this evening, Dr. Rishikesh Pai. Dr. Rishikesh Pai needs no introduction. but I will give one anyway because this is a formal event. Dr. Rishikesh Pai is an IVF specialist and the current president of the Federation of Obstetric and Gynecological Societies of India, or FOGSI. He is also the founder and medical director of the Bloom IVF Group. He has received 62 awards, including the honorary FRCOG Fellowship ad Undem of the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. Sir, we could go on and on about your achievements, but for now, we invite you to please come up on stage and say a few words. We also request Dr. Mugdha Raut to come up on stage and felicitate Dr. Pai before he speaks.
We have a round of applause, please.
So I think it's a good evening. देखो good omen अंदर आ गया Dr. Mandakini Meg, who is our very good friend, and there are a lot of friends there. I can see, of course, I have to become very formal. So Dr. Nandita, who is our ISAR president, and my colleague, and Dr. Niranjan Chaman, who is our Mumbai Society president, and then the couple, the dynamic couple. And you know one thing, do you fight anytime? Because you know they're very soft and gentle, and you know very nice. You know, by the way, Mohan, you are my houseman, no? But I was a bindas registrar. I used to stay in the house during emergencies, and मैंने बोला था sister को कुछ लफड़ा का तो taxi लेके आना. Once when there was an emergency, I came back in the next day in the morning. Meena Bhattacharya, who was head of department, caught me. How did you stay on an emergency in the night? I said, "Arey, kidhar madam petrol भरने को गया था बाहर." So, but that was the heady days, and during those days, Mohan started working with Usha Krishna and Pranay, and they started this project from Oxford, and that was the lead therapy. And then the project got over, and Mohan persisted, and you know he's in this niche kind of area, which is a very good area. As Nandita said, we are like redo surgeons now. If you have cardiac bypass, not first time, they redo bypasses, that kind of people. Nandita has one patient, we have done 22 failure from London. So that kind of level of patients come, because the simple patients don't come now. They all go to the nearby. So we get only referral practice, and when there's a referral practice, you don't know what to do actually. It's very difficult. There was a seminal paper. Seminal paper means a landmark paper that came from New York, which said that they showed that 4,200 consecutive, so they take the embryo, take the biopsy, and only the tested normal embryo, they do the NGS, 4,200 consecutive transfers, single transfer, 95% pregnancy rate was there in 3 transfers. So what was the theory is that about 10% are due to uterine causes. If uterus is normal, something to do with immunology, and 90% are due to genetic embryo causes. But personally, in my experience, I think it's not that. I feel that maybe the uterine causes are about 30%, because we used to get, before 2013, when we used to do a lot of surrogacy from abroad. Many patients who used to fail, they used to just send their embryos by courier, we used to put them in the surrogate and used to become pregnant. So uterus was a very important role playing, and that's why I feel that especially in India, the causes of uterine factor is higher. I'm not talking about fibroid or adenomyosis. When you eliminate them, a normal uterus, in those patients and so the immunological causes are important, and they are variegated. There are many immunological causes. They are different. We have not yet understood it. And one of the ways, that's what Mohan Raut and Mugdha Raut are good about. So I have understood what is my position. My position is the front position. You have to send so we have a standard technique that nowadays if I get patients with recurrent miscarriages or recurrent failure, we do all the investigations, then we'll send them to Mohan and Mugdha. They will do their immunotherapy, and then I would do testing of the embryo, and I do a single transfer. And so most of us, we don't believe in ERA. receptor analysis test is, we don't believe in it. Most of the Americans don't believe it. I don't believe in it. But if a patient comes to us, okay, I will say, okay, if you want it, I'll do it. But I'm not, because we do double transfer. The best thing to do would be send it to the routes, get the immunology done, and do a day 3 and a day 5 transfer on a day 5. So you freeze the embryos and thaw a day 3 and a day 5 on day 5. So you cover the embryo. We are doing in our unit a day 3 and a day 5 transfer. But that's not accurate. You have to, if you want to cover the window of implantation, you need to do a day 3 frozen and a day 5 frozen on the same day. So then there's a new paper that has come which has shown better outcomes with a day 3, day 5 on day 5. So it's a very exciting field, but difficult as well, because patients, when they fail many times, we used to advocate that they should go for surrogacy, but now we can't do it easily because new regulations have come, but the regulations are getting standardized, and hopefully within the next 2 years, that also option will be quite regularized in our country. So without much ado, thank you, congratulations, thanks for calling me here. This is my 5th appearance. I was in Delhi for the managing committee meeting. From there, I came to Ahmedabad, installed the Ahmedabad Society president, went to the Zydus headquarters, they released a new medicine, and then I've come here to do your installation, because you are very special for me. You know, we have a fantastic relationship from a long time. You have been my, I have looked at your growth, and as Nandita said, you are a fantastic couple, lovely couple, and very nice results as well. So I'm very happy. So Anshula is there in the audience. She's there. So Anshula always says, Anshula, I say, send, refer. And she will refer, and she says, Mohan Raut के पास भेजते हम लोग, then PGD करके, ठक करके pregnancy देते हैं. Anyway, thank you very much.
Check, check. Yeah, well. Thank you, Dr. Pai, for taking us back to those college days and talking about some things which, as lawyers, I had no idea about. I mean, I'm sure she didn't either. But okay, we have another very special guest with us, and I'd like to introduce him. Dr. Niranjan Chauhan. He's the president of the Mumbai Obstetric and Gynecological Society. He's also a professor at Lokmanya Tilak Medical College and Sion Hospital, Mumbai. He's also the organizing secretary of the All India Congress of Obstetricians and Gynecologists 2025, which is going to be held in Mumbai. He's also a recipient, of course, of several awards, only one of which I will list, which was the V for Stree and Wonder Foxy Award very recently. Sir, I'd like to welcome you on stage, and I'd like to welcome Dr. Mugdha Raut to please felicitate him before he speaks. Can we have a round of applause, please?
After the hilarious speech of Nandita Palchetkar, who made us split in laughter, and the dynamism of Rishikesh Pai, I get the opportunity here, not as a president of MOGS, but as a GS Medical College student, where I was a undergraduate student in 85, and Mugdha was there in 84. And of course, Mohan I know for last 25 years now. My journey also in BOH in RPL started with Dr. P.K. Shah. I hope everyone knows him, and we had a BOH OPD. In those days, we used to do torch titers, and it was absolutely the in thing. We used to have 5566 patients admitted in the ward with different types of pathology, septate uterus, subseptate uterus, bicornuate uterus, anatomical disorders, genetic anomalies, which we used to send to Wadia and then to the anatomy department of JJ Hospital as a postgraduate and then as a faculty. But there was something like unexplained infertility, where you have so many things being done, all the investigations are done, but still you do not know the cause. And that's where the niche area comes, and we found and we find them, the Rauts couple. They have done amazing work in this field for so many years now, and you have created a lot of goodwill amongst all the practitioners, not only in Mumbai, but now I see you have gone to Apollo Hospital and creating those centers, which is the much area to be discovered and known. Yesterday I was at Femtech Delhi conference, and coincidentally the topic I was as a panelist in RPL, and Reshma Pai was the moderator, and we had all the faculties which were there, and we discussed all the ESHRE guidelines and LIT and immunoglobulins and IV therapy, NHS and FDA approval, etc., etc. But there are patients which need this, and really their percentage is 89%. And if you have patients who have got failures more than 4, you need to think about it, and that is what is a game changer. It will absolutely change the things, the white cells which are collected from the father, they are introduced into the mother, and then how it is done in. And the best part is you have changed the modified process, which is now only in one sitting, and that makes a lot of difference. And the video which I saw, where the follow-up is so easy, they just come for 3 hours, be there, and they go away. So it's amazing. Regarding couple, I can also understand, because once when I was there in Sion Hospital at a given time, all the 6 unit heads, husband and wife were gynecologists. I can't name them, everyone you know. Everyone was a gynecologist. So we were 12 gynecologists. Out of that, there were 4 of them male gynecologists. And really the journey is an amazing journey to be with a gynecologist. And regarding proofreading, I tell Komal, अरे बाबा ते पुस्तक आहेत जरा बघ थोडं बघ बाबा ते एवढे 12 पुस्तकं लिहिलेले आहेत ते कधी जरा वेळ काढ हो हो बघते मी and that day never comes. It ultimately lands on me. मतलब 1 दिवस झाला 2 दिवस झाले 3 दिवस झाले. So I think you are Mohan very lucky person. So yeah, Komal is my better half, Komal Chavan. She is right now in Bhubaneswar. She was in Delhi yesterday. Yeah, no. So it's an amazing proofreading. Absolutely, I agree. Plagiarism, there are many softwares which are there, but you have done something which no one has done up till now, and we congratulate you and thank you for this wonderful book which we are going to read. And I like to read books when I'm in my car. I have got this habit. I see Reshma and Rishikesh before COVID. He used to have all the time one book in his hand. Arey kai vastu? I'm reading Game of Thrones. I'm reading this. I'm reading that. This is because he's a man, man with something all the time ideas. So I thought, why not also do something? So with governor's message. So I had Komal's mama is actually the controller of. He is 92 years old. So he has also written a lovely book on all the governors who were there, 16 governors where he was a part of it. So surely it makes a lot of difference. I am just halfway through that books. So books do make a difference in your life, and it entertains not only your mind, but it also cultivates a good habit of reading, and that's what you have done today. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best.
I am taking this opportunity to deviate from the schedule a little bit, and I request Dr. Mandakini madam to say a few words because we don't want to miss her talk.
Good evening, everyone. Same friends, same love and affection, and we are everywhere. Rishikesh, we are there since last 3 days together. Nandita, Niranjan, everyone, Rohan. It's a very good feeling. So I'm just giving my emotional start to the speech. Heartiest congratulations, both the Rauts. And whenever I look at the social media, the first thing comes is the Rauts. Because nowadays I'm in a lot of social media. You must be knowing I'm contesting for the post. Let me, let me, combine that sentence with my speech. So, Foxy President, after my all friends in that post, the aura, the glamour and everything. Sincerity work for the Foxy members. So Raus, congratulations for that presence in the media. I'm highly impressed and I'm following you. Nanditala माहिती आहे प्रत्येक जागी photo टाकते. All the time photographs in WhatsApp, whatever. So social media is the thing for the propagation of your knowledge. It's not only business, it's knowledge. And I have learned so much from your social media thing. And second thing is my patients who come from the, Chhattisgarh. So many patients I refer to her, recurrent pregnancy. And that's how we started getting to know each other. Very good results. And I tell you, and then I started knowing about this therapy, your publications, and really, and now we are very relaxed. If there is any patient of recurrent pregnancy loss, abortion, we go to the Raus. One stop solution, and we don't break our head, ki wo kya ho gaya, there are so many factors. Of course, we are investigating, but there is some comfort when you people are there. So thank you. And I think so many specialists I see here, everyone, suppose endoscopy, I said, no problem. So many fibroids, please go to that, then come to us. So I think with this super specialty, infertility, all the bosses are here. Whenever he tells me half the things only goes in my mind, Rishikesh, your new technology is very, going above head. So I must attend all your lectures to, understand fully what exactly is the newest thing in the ART, artificial babies. I don't know what you talk, but it's wonderful. So my knowledge is increasing because of the presence of so many friends with the specialty. We are basically MD gynecology. I know PPH, contraception, delivery, episiotomy, perineal tears, and public health. Most important, public health. Though Rishikesh all the time tells, my father was public health person. But I tell, I'm a public health person. Because I was thrown into the public health by circumstances. Heading the Kama Hospital, you all know, doing a very good job of unit and administration both. Very rare combination. You do surgery, you do repair of ruptures, everything. And suddenly go to office, start signing the files. So, you know that. So whenever anybody was posted in Kama Hospital, can I take 1 minute extra? Anybody used to come to Kama Hospital, my director used to tell the person, first go and meet Dr. B. If she likes you, then we'll post you. Otherwise, within 8 days, you'll be out. Seriously. So one day when I was in the office, I was a very, very strict person that time. So so one card comes to my, on the table. CBI? I said, what I have done to do the CBI inquiry? I was very much tense. I said, CBI, how can this CBI come? And the one person, police person comes. Namaste, madam. I say, Arey, well, namaste, and that too with, all the police mannerism, style. I said, please have a seat. Have I done anything wrong? No, madam. My wife is to be posted with you. and he was very honest. He told me, I went to Dr. Subhash Sawanke. He told, I can post to anywhere in the world, in the God's country also, but not with Dr. Meg. Why? Because you have to like her and she has to like you. Otherwise, it's difficult. Because what is this happen? Sorry to tell you the truth. These IAS wives, those who are, big shots in the districts, collector, commissioner, they never used to work. I always told them, तुमने ये ड्यूटी नहीं की नहीं बेटा वो उनको 100 रुपए दे देते थे CMO को उनको बोलते हमारी ड्यूटी कर डालो. I was so much shocked. You don't do the duties. नहीं कलेक्टर की बीवी कब ड्यूटी करती है? Oh God! But I said here you have to work, and that is how when all the collectors become senior, they were posted in the Mumbai, and their wife has to be relocated, and that too to me. So I said, I'm not going to tolerate, and things are like that. So what I'm trying to tell you, to do the job very well, to be very sincere, and also one more incident I want to tell you. In 1993, when I was sitting in the chair, suddenly there was no mobiles. Suddenly the call came from the director, there is a bomb blast. I was the only person in the chair. And everybody was lunchtime, 1:20, and Cotton, that building was blasted. There were so many dead bodies, everybody came. And suddenly I, sent the ward boys, sisters, blood bank, postmortem, and later on, with my super management, I must tell you that I got such a big letter from Sharad Pawar, who was a defense minister, that the best work managed in the bomb blast, emergency, I got the gold medal for that. So, sorry I diverted, but it is an experience to tell the audience that when we are doing that kind of duties, to come to our practice and do all these things is a real, challenge. So, heartiest congratulations. We'll keep on referring the patients, be quiet, peaceful, and take all our responsibility at you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Savan and Dr. Meg, for not just walking down the memory lane, but sharing stories of bravery. And we are very honored to have that story here today. It was a welcome diversion. So thank you very much once again. And we now invite Dr. Mugdha Raut for her speech on reproductive immunology. Welcome, Mai.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Mugdha Raut, an obstetrician and gynecologist and a reproductive immunologist. We have our center, Dr. Raut Center for Reproductive Immunology, in Mumbai, Nagpur, Pune, in India, and one international center in Kuwait, where along with my husband, Dr. Mohan Raut, we treat couples with repeated unexplained pregnancy loss, repeated IVF failures, and repeated unexplained infertility with the help of our patented lymphocyte immunization therapy and other passive reproductive immunology techniques. So today, after all the wonderful speeches and going down the memory lane and with the family talks which was going on, I'm going to talk about a very fascinating subject of medicine called reproductive immunology. Now, the immunology is a study of the reproductive immunology is a study of the immune system's interactions with the reproductive system in pregnancy, infertility, assisted reproductive technologies, and reproductive failures. The next slide. Okay. So reproductive immunology started with this question by Sir Peter Medawar, who is a Nobel laureate and also the father of reproductive immunology, who asked this simple question: how does a pregnant mother manage to nourish within herself for weeks and months a fetus that is an antigenically foreign body? Because we all know that our body's immune system is our body's defense against any foreign pathogens like infections, mismatched blood transfusion, mismatched maybe liver transplants or kidney transplants, and yet this powerful defense system is overcome in pregnancy in mammals where the fetus grows in the mother's body. So understanding reproductive immunology is crucial for improving both maternal and fetal health and for helping couples with reproductive failures. The mother's immune system has to strike a delicate balance between tolerating an antigenically fetus on one hand and protecting the fetus on the other hand. Asymmetric antibodies, T regulatory cells, and certain cytokines play a very important role in maintaining this delicate balance. I'm not going to go into the details of exactly what happens because I think it's beyond the scope of this, but reproductive immunology helps us to modulate the immune system in reproductive failures, and this is done through active method, which is the lymphocyte immunization therapy, and other individualized passive immunomodulatory techniques. Thus, reproductive immunology becomes a critical field of medicine that is crucial, as I said before, in improving maternal and fetal health. Next slide. So in conclusion, I would just like to say a few things that educate the patients of the benefits of lymphocyte immunization therapy. As doctors, it is important that we educate them as to what is lymphocyte immunization therapy, the safety, the efficacy, and the benefits of LIT in reproductive failures. We have to make sure that they understand the safety and efficacy and how LIT will be beneficial for them. Next is early referral, which is the key. It is important to refer patients for LIT early on in the process. Don't wait until other treatments have failed before considering LIT, because this will definitely give you more success to your treatment. And collaborate with the LIT specialists. This collaboration will give the patient, one, is an expert opinion whether LIT is going to be beneficial in them, and they can do LIT with the experts. So we can provide you the best possible care and increase the chances of a successful pregnancy outcome. Finally, today we have a lot of people who are in the audience who are not doctors. So if you have understood what I spoke about reproductive immunology, I would suggest that you also must be knowing patients who have repeated miscarriages, IVF failures, and unexplained infertility, or even say poor pregnancy outcome. And after understanding this, definitely you must refer the patients to our center, that is Dr. Raut's Center for Reproductive Immunology in Mumbai, Nagpur, Pune, Kuwait, and we will soon be announcing our 5 centers with Apollo Group, where we have signed a memorandum of understanding. Our helpline number is +91 983320 1522. Remember, friends, we are just a phone call away. Thank you all for the patient listening.
Without much further ado, we'd like to ask the event management team to help us. We would request the distinguished chief guests, Dr. Pai and Dr. Palshetkar, to kindly come up on stage and Dr. Chauhan also, please, of course. Dr. Chauhan, please come up on stage.
Just so everyone in the audience knows, yeah, come Ashwin. Just so everyone in the audience knows what was on the first page of the book, I'd just like to read it out. This book is dedicated to our teacher, mentor, friend, philosopher, and guide, Dr. Usha Krishna. We would not be where we are today in the field of reproductive immunology without her. Thank you so much, ma'am. She's not here right now, but thank you so much. Now, she had to leave due to an emergency. But yeah, so before we move on to our next segment, I actually came up here on stage to share with you some insider information about the Raut family. Okay, no, seriously, they put me up here on stage so that I can tell you the inside story. And this is my favorite part of my segment, so I'm going to hand the mic to Ashwin in a bit. But let me tell you the hardest part of putting this book together. It wasn't the plagiarism and the proofreading or whatever else. Do you know what the hardest part was, Ashwin? No, something else.
Was it incorporating practical outcomes of their studies?
Okay, that was very tough, but no, something else.
Okay, I'm out of guesses.
The hardest part for my parents of putting this whole book together throughout the entire years-long process was using the laptop. Right, so on many, many days, I woke up at 7 a.m., I was living at home, I came outside to have a cup of coffee, and there is my Baba sitting at the dining table. Also, many, many nights, I woke up, couldn't get sleep, went to get cough medicine or something. Again, Baba is sitting at the table like this. No, but seriously, my parents have gone far, far out of their comfort zones to put this book together. Thank you. Two of the best surgeons in the world. LIT specialists, why would they need to use MS Word in their daily lives, ladies and gentlemen?
I think a lot of people in the audience should be able to relate to this because it's not just about technology. Our nation's doctors have gone far beyond their comfort zones in many, many different ways during and after the pandemic. So I feel like for that, all of you deserve a huge round of applause.
Yeah, we'll have another How I Met Your Mother session sometime. But yeah, so we do now move on to the next segment of this evening, where doctors and patients will share their experiences with LIT beyond what has been shared already. Please note that this segment will be followed by cocktails and dinner. Yeah? Yeah. So we now introduce Dr. Amity Agrawal, who will read an extract from the book and share her experiences with LIT.
Yeah. Dr. Amity Agrawal is an infertility and IVF specialist. She is the medical director of Sunshine Fertility and IVF Center, Mumbai. She received the Governor of Maharashtra's Award for Excellence in IVF and Reproductive Medicine in 2021. She was also awarded the IVF Youth Icon Award at the Midday Health and Wellness Awards in Mumbai 2020. We welcome you on stage, ma'am.
If we could just have a moment while we get the marked up copy.
Very good evening. Namaste. First of all, many congratulations, respected sir and madam, for this phenomenal achievement. It gives me immense pleasure to see my gurus and mentors, Pai sir and Adita ma'am, in front of me. They've always had their hands of blessings on me right from the start of my career. In fact, sir and ma'am, the zeal and the interest, the love they have for the subject is absolutely phenomenal. I've seen sir and ma'am entering the hospital in the morning at 6:30 and 7 o'clock, while they have to catch flights at 11, and they have to go for their various, other batches. They have to go for their conferences, but they have never ever complained. I think that's where I got my strength, and I always look up to them because what they have achieved is absolutely phenomenal. They are a beacon for youngsters like us. They have always taught us that whatever you do, Amity, you have to do it in the right way. You have to learn. It has to be a process. There has to be a certain discipline, and you have to go forward step by step. They've always told me, when you see a patient, don't ever try to push them for IVF. See which patient needs to go for an IUI, which patient needs to go for a natural try, which patient needs to go for an IVF. So it's absolutely amazing that I have got an opportunity to stand in front of my teachers, my gurus, Niranjan Chauhan sir, who's obviously been mentoring me as I've been a part of the Youth Council. So first of all, as IVF specialists, we know nowadays that there's a lot of, there's a lot of awareness now in the field of IVF. People know what IVF is. I've seen very young couples who initially would say, no, we don't want to go for IVF, but now there is a bit of a change where people are very casual about it. Ki, okay, ma'am, we have tried for 6 months, 7 months, now we'll go for IVF. Now we'll go for IVF. So the number of cycles which people are, going, they don't feel really, they have been counseled very well that there is a certain success rate. There's no 100% result. So we do come across a lot of patients who've had failed IVFs. And the big question which everybody is, as infertility specialists, difficult to answer is, madam, why have we failed? We've got good embryos, we've got a good endometrium, you said everything is good, and why are we not conceiving? So that is where this particular branch comes into the picture. Of course, genetics today has a very huge role to play in the success stories. We have got so much of research and so much of extensive work that is being done in genetics, which is helping in improving the success rate of IVF, which once upon a time used to be less than 20%. And today we are seeing that we are getting very good success rates with the help of genetics. So in immunology, I have personally had a very good experience. And as Mugdha ma'am always says, Amity, you and me are a winning team. So we've had a lot of success stories. We recently had a patient who had 12 IVF failures and 6 miscarriages. And she managed to conceive in the very first shot with immunotherapy. Of course, she had a lot of complications in the third trimester. She had severe preeclampsia, she had uncontrolled hypothyroidism, she had Doppler changes, severe IUGR, and ultimately she delivered a beautiful, healthy baby at 35 weeks, and good weight, everything went well. We even had a doctor couple who came in from Bihar who had so many IVF failures, she had so many miscarriages, she had completely lost hope, and she just asked me one thing. She was my junior in college. ki ma'am, just tell me, how do I get a baby? I don't want to go for surrogacy. I don't want to go for a donor egg, but I want a baby in my hand. That's when I called Mugdha ma'am and I said, ma'am, what can we do for her? And she said, Amity, I think we should do the blood panel. We should do the blood investigations and see if we can do something for this patient. So most importantly is we need to first identify the patients who require this advanced blood investigations. Let me tell you, these advanced blood investigations are not very cheap. For a normal working in a, we have all sorts of patients coming to us. We don't just have very rich patients who say, ki, oh, I'm ready to spend any amount of money. There are certain patients who don't have that much money but still want to have a baby. So first of all, the blood investigations that are the level 2 investigations required for these immunological factors by itself are costing anywhere between about 16 to 19,000 rupees. But it's very, very important for us to analyze those factors, where we have the tumor necrosis factors, we have the natural killer cells, we have the anti-thyroid antibodies, the anti-TPO antibodies. Along with that, we do a CDC cross-match between the husband and wife, which is a very, very important marker, which helps us in finding out whether this patient will help, which will have a pregnancy, will have a better result with LIT. So this is what basically ma'am has called me to talk about, that is the immune system. Basically the body's defense against foreign invaders is known as the immune system, and it protects us via a complex system that includes cells and chemicals as well as organs within the immune system. This chapter, that's chapter number 3 of this wonderful book. I have read it twice already because ma'am gave it to me a week back. And this chapter basically talks about the normal human immune response, the chemicals produced by them, and to induce the immune response. The brief explanation is basically the big role of the HLA antigen, which is explained in this book very thoroughly. So when a patient comes to us, I think as a clinician, we don't spend much time on the history, which I think we all must. A very, very thorough history where we have to find out that what kind of miscarriage was it? Was it a first trimester, second trimester miscarriage? Was it a missed abortion? Was it a blighted ovum? Or was it a spontaneous miscarriage? It is very important to find out the medical history in detail, whether the patient was having any kind of medical problems like a very uncontrolled hypothyroidism, or if she was smoking or any history of alcoholism, or very, very importantly, as I said today, if she's having any kind of genetic factors, was the karyotype done of the products of conception? Was the patient's karyotyping done or not? So these are all the kind of series of investigations which we need to do. A good 40-45 minutes of time has to be spent with such kind of patient who come with you for IVF rather than just going on doing the same thing over and over and over. I've seen so many files who come to me where we are again and again repeatedly doing the same thing by just changing the dose here and there. If somebody has done a day 3 transfer, we do a day 5 transfer. If somebody has done this, so we just keep on making very small changes and we try to ignore 2 most important factors today, that is the genetics and the immunology. As Paisa said, that the way forward in such cases would be do a immunological profile. Maybe if the patient requires an LIT, have a session of LIT, give the patient a gap of 1 month. We can do the genetic testing of the embryos and we try our best. I think most of the cases do get solved with that. Somehow as a clinician, I don't agree to the fact that the cause of infertility of the cause of IVF failure is unexplained. There's always a cause. The whole point is how much effort is the clinician ready to take to get into the whole history, understand the whole thing and figure out why the patient is failing. I think with that kind of, I've seen that kind of dedication in ma'am and sir, and really hats off to ma'am and sir. Heartiest congratulations for all the upcoming new centers. I'm sure there'll be many more. As of now, in my limited knowledge, there are only about 10% IVF specialists who actually understand the concept of LIT. In the coming 5 to 7 years, I'm quite sure that almost 90% doctors and clinicians are going to incorporate this into their practices and the benefit will be given to the patients. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for having me here, ma'am. My bestest wishes and congratulations to you.
Almost at dinner, my favorite part of this event. But yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for that enlightening talk. And I, as a non-doctor, followed quite a lot of it. So thank you very much for a very detailed explanation of the problem. Yeah, and I'd like to ask whether Ms. Nandita Singh is in the audience. Okay, Mr. Singh, are you in the audience today? Would you like to share your experience with LIT, please, in a few words? We'd like to invite you on stage, sir.
He's right here. Please come up on stage and share your experience with LIT. Can we have a round of applause?
So sir has benefited personally from LIT treatment, so that's why we'd like to have him on stage. Yeah.
Thank you. First of all, thanks a lot, sir, ma'am. We have been blessed with a son, and it's been around 2.5 months. So it was a really we have been struggling for last 5 to 6 years, and sir has recommended to Raut sir. We have been to his clinic, and for me and my wife, LIT was done. And so we are, from the bottom of my heart, we are indebted to sir, and they both means Rishikesh sir and Dr. Raut sir, they both are angels in our life, and we are blessed. Thank you so much, sir, and we are short of words, but thank you again, and heartiest congratulations on the launch, and I'm sure it will help many such couples in their life, so that they can, they'll be aware what to do and where to go for, and so heartiest congratulations again, sir, all the best. Thank you, sir.
Yes, of course.
You know, this is very important. We must give a very big hand because people don't express. You know, in our country, they are very inhibited. While if you see in the West, they are very overt and open about things. And that's very important because the knowledge has to spread. So more and more people can benefit of that knowledge. So I really congratulate you for doing such a great job. It was really a great surprise, Mohan. Fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. We would now like to introduce Dr. Rohan Palshetkar, who will also read an extract from the book and share his experiences with LIT. Dr. Palshetkar, an infertility and IVF specialist, is head of unit at Bloom IVF. He is the national coordinator for Foxy's Young Talent Promotion Committee and is currently an assistant professor at the D.Y. Patil School of Medicine. He is the recipient of many awards, including the Foxy Future Award 2019-20 and the MOGS Pramila Bhatia Young Scientist Award. Welcome, sir.
Much. So at the outset, firstly, I want to say congratulations to you, Mohan sir and Mugdha ma'am, on releasing this wonderful book. My teachers, my mentors are here. I'm going to be talking about the safety of LIT. And I think after today's stories, after hearing Dr. Pai talk about his dutyship, I think I've realized the safety of actually opening up today. My boss, Dr. Ganpat Sawant, sitting here, so I think I need to wait for 10 more years before I'm safe enough to tell the stories of my own residency over here. So I know everyone's waiting for cocktail and dinner, so without taking too much time, I just want to read a short abstract from ma'am and sir's book about the safety of LIT. For over 3 decades, lymphocyte immunization therapy has been used in unexplained RPL and unexplained RIF. LIT can have untoward side effects, which has always concerned clinicians as well as immunologists. Numerous studies have examined the side effects and potential complications of LIT. Although some studies suggested an increased risk of infection, most studies have not found any significant complication. The large study of Kling et al. That analyzed the adverse effects of LIT in more than 3,000 patients showed no acute allergic reactions such as anaphylaxis or increased incidence of autoimmunity or graft versus host disease. Local side effects in the form of bluish-reddish spots and skin rashes were seen in about 8% of patients, and therefore LIT is a low-risk and safe procedure. I just want to say one thing about the Raut family, that even when I started off my practice and when I was a young clinician, Dr. Nandita and Dr. Pai always have mentored me, and they explained to me about the LIT therapy. It still went over my head, as Mandagini ma'am said, that sometimes certain things do. But over the years, as I've learned about it, one beautiful thing about them is you can actually pick up your phone and give them a call. They'll patiently speak to you, explain to you. they'll actually make you understand it and tell you what they're doing with the patient as well. And the best part is when they're sending the patient back to you after the treatment, they'll tell you how to approach your treatment ahead as well. And that's something which I really appreciate. And both of them take their due time with someone as young as me as well to explain what has to be done. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. And it's really a pleasure to come and read a small extract from your book. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that speech. It was, and your kind words. Now, all that's standing between us and dinner is 5 minutes. So I would like to request Dr. Afshan Akhtar to please come up on stage and share her experience in a few words. She's also a beneficiary of LIT, so we thought it would be a good idea for her to come and share it. She's a gynecologist herself, yes, and a beneficiary of the treatment.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Afshan Akhtar, working as an obstetrician and gynecologist here in Mumbai from last 10 years. Although I am from Allahabad, but I moved here after my marriage. First of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Mohan Raut and Dr. Mugdha Raut, ma'am, for their book launch on lymphocyte immunization therapy in reproductive failures, and also thank them for inviting me here. Here I'm sharing my experience as a patient, not as a doctor, because so many big doctors are here. So I was talking about my association with Dr. Raut long back in 2017. Before I met them, I had suffered 4 early repeated miscarriages. The cause was unknown. I was referred by Dr. Anita Soni ma'am to them. And after a discussion with them, and the time was really difficult for me, and I was very confused at what to do, because immunological factors are the, in our book, it is the last cause for the repeated pregnancy failure. So when I met him, I discussed him, and I underwent immunotherapy in January 2018. At that time, I remember the words of sir. He said that in the next year we will be 3 from 2, and the same thing happens. Post immunotherapy, within 3 months I conceived naturally, and I delivered a healthy baby in December 2018. Thank you, ma'am and sir. And it was, I think that most of the people are not aware of immunotherapy. So I'm also referring my patients to them, though the percentage is very small, but still I'm referring my patients to them, and they will also get benefited by them. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, now before we move on to the vote of thanks, we'd like to introduce Dr. Darshana Pawar to read an extract from the book and share her experiences with LIT. Dr. Pawar is an infertility specialist and founder of Central India Fertility Center and Well Women Clinic. She's a member and a fellow of the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. Her experience spans various countries, including Australia, New Zealand, and Muscat. We welcome you on stage, madam. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Nagpur, ma'am.
A very, very hot welcome to everyone from Nagpur. And heartiest congratulations to my dear friends Mohan and Mugdha. It's an absolute honor to be on this stage, especially in front of Dr. Pai and Dr. Nandita. I have to thank Dr. Nandita for introducing me to Mohan and Mugdha. You may not remember, but we had met at the Pune conference years ago. I had just moved back to India. And I was asking, is there anything in India that we can do? And you had said, see, they are giving a talk, and go and meet them. It was the last talk, and I had to catch a flight after that. Me standing with my baggage, I caught them before I could, and they said, yeah, this is what we do. So thanks to you for that, Dr. Nandita. And my patient's life changed. Absolutely. I fully. Because me being new to the city, new to the country, it was not easy. So it is my honor and privilege to read the concluding remarks from this wonderful book. The study has concluded that LIT is safe. It also states a very important fact that it is valid for couples who are undergoing recurrent miscarriages, but you have to be very choosy in the patients you give the treatment to. It's not a blind treatment, it is not a 100% guarantee, but in my personal experience, at least 80% of my patients have conceived. The best results are seen when LIT is done with adequate number of lymphocytes, which is the trademark of Mohan and Mugdha's treatment. The important part is it is just a single therapy, and though they say it lasts for only a year, but we've had patients for whom it has been lasted even for 2 years. It is most effective when applied intradermally, and LIT is beneficial in well-selected subgroup of patients. Now, this is what the book says. There are some things I would like to say from my side. There were a lot of talks, from, I will say, mentors, that after LIT, they do IVF. My experience has been, probably because I'm from a city which is not very rich, patients are not that affording, because again, they come after multiple failures. We are asking for LIT. Yes, the cost is a bit expensive, which I've been requesting them, bring down the cost a bit, because the poor ones can't afford it. And I think we should give them that privilege that they should be able to afford it as well. So we say, okay, we've done LIT for you. They've managed it somehow. There's no way they can do IVF after that. But to our wonderful surprise, and to their surprise too, we've had a lot of patients who've conceived naturally. And that has been a surprise to Mohan and Mugdha as well. In fact, I have made it a policy, if there's no other reason which necessitates the IVF procedure, I leave them for at least 3-4 months to conceive naturally, or I go ahead with IVF, and we've had wonderful results. Patients who have been treated for endometriosis and tuberculosis respond beautifully to LIT. I think even if they've not had previous miscarriages or failures, as a prophylactic, do give it a try. We've had very good results. And thank you so much for bringing happiness into my life and our lives as an IVF specialist, and in the lives of people who've lost hopes in every way. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Thank you very much.
So, it's very special day also for us, and we would like to share this with you guys. First of all, thank you. And Amity, you did a fantastic presentation. Rohan also, very nice. And all of my friends, Ganpat, so many, Dinesh is there, Satish, all of them are there. So, and Nitin is there, Abhijit is there. So, we are getting the All India Conference next year in 2025 January, and this is the venue. We have just taken the whole venue. We all are going to participate in it. We are expecting maybe 15,000 people. The whole venue has been taken. It's from the 8th to the 12th of Jan. We are going to give you the best experience. You remember the 2013. And I was just thinking that, Mohan has inaugurated this venue today. Come, both of you. It's a pleasure because, we are feeling I've come first time here. First time I'm just feeling and I'm feeling the positivity of this place. It's a beautiful place. The beauty of the place. And, we were thinking of, first because I'm the scientific chair, she's the organizing chair, he's the organizing secretary. And, we were trying to, I said, no, only 10 workshops. But now 1 workshop we are going to give you. So we are going to have 20 workshops and 1 immunological workshop. And I'm sure, yesterday I was talking to All India organizers of the Calcutta conference. You know how many people came for the infertility workshop? 2,000. That was the highest. 2,000 people. And the smallest was some 150 people. But I'm sure that you will get at least 1,000 people. And we will see to it that so one of the workshops special, this is a special occasion, and you are going to, because I am expecting at least 3,000-4,000 people from all over the world this time. And we all, it's a team Mumbai. Sanjay Patil is also there. All of you are there. Mandakini is there. It's
Satish, you've got to come, huh?
we are going to, Satish is you are going to demonstrate the vaginal hysterectomy. Satish can, before you say ABCD, he's out with the uterus. So it's a great feeling today, and I am very happy. And Mohan and Mugdha have been there for many, many years, and they're a great couple.
Okay. Social media. We'll just finish and we'll have photo session. We'll just finish.
Just one.
थांब जरा थांब 2-4 पेक जाऊ दे.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Just 2 minutes. Before we disperse for cocktails and dinner, just couple of minutes for vote of thanks. We are extremely, extremely thankful to our chief guests, Dr. Pai and Dr. Nandita and Dr. Niranjan. Rishikesh, as Dr. Rishikesh, as he said, that he was my registrar, and those were really wonderful days. Me as house surgeon, Rishikesh as registrar, and Satish Thakur, Dr. Satish Thakur as lecturer, and the house surgeon used to have gala time there because the OT list is to be decided by the house surgeon. What does he want to operate? If there are 4 cases, house surgeon, registrar, lecturer, again house surgeon. So that was a wonderful time of 1 year. So I am really thankful to Rishikesh for coming here from his absolutely busy schedule. Those who are not non-medicos, you won't understand how busy a foxy president is. And it is really amazing, Rishikesh, that you managed to attend all those things and you came here, gave your full time, and we are really thankful to you for that. And see, I know him since he was my registrar. Afterwards, he conquered so many peaks in his life, but he has always remained a very good and close friend for us, and we can approach him anytime for any of our problems or challenges. And as I told you before, Rishikesh, you were not there. We said the only reason why we started our center was Dr. Rishikesh. I still remember our visit, or rather, we were sitting in Lilavati canteen, and Rishikesh telling me, Mohan, Mugdha, you have to start this. This treatment is very expensive abroad, and our patient must get this, so you must start this center. And so thank you so much. So also Nandita, I think we started working together a little later, but you were responsible for exposing our skills, or rather about lymphocyte immunization therapy to our fraternity. Because she was the first one, she and Dr. Rishma, they said that you have to come and present. So they gave us opportunities in big conferences to talk. Nandita used to say, you just go there, say 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the things, these are the investigations, this is the treatment. And thank you so much for that, and that has really helped us. Dr. Niranjan, thank you so much. I will say just one incident from Niranjan and our interaction, our association. The day he became MOGS president, in the night, 11 o'clock he called me. Mohan, I am going to arrange your lecture, and I have become MOGS president today, and I am going to arrange your lecture. Our doctors must know about this lymphocyte immunization therapy, and he did that. He did it not once, but I think 2 or 3 times in this year. So we are really thankful to you. We are thankful to Dr. Usha Krishna Madam. Of course, how can we forget? She was here, but she had to leave early. And she is our mentor. It's only because of her that we got introduced to reproductive immunology, the project that she brought in India in 30 years back when we worked in the double-blind study, which paved the way for our work in reproductive immunology field. And that was also, I think, credit goes to Mugdha. She was Dr. Usha Krishna's registrar, and she wanted someone for this project, and through Mugdha, I was introduced to the project. Then, special thanks to our friends from Nagpur, Dr. Darshana and Dr. Nikunj. I think Dr. Darshana has been introduced, but her better half, I would say, Dr. Nikunj is a cardiac surgeon par excellence. He has his own cardiac surgery hospital in Nagpur. And the hospital has started, I think, 1.5 years back, but they have done record surgeries. And as you say, you are redo IVF doctors. Like, he is a redo cardiac surgeon, and he gets patients who have been operated before. And he does skin-to-skin bypass in 1.5 hours. So this is something which is unheard of. And next time, I think he has always been calling me, but I won't miss next time. This is a foxy president speaking. So then I am thankful to...
Actually, I am thankful to Nandita again once, because she introduced Dr. Darshana Pawar to LIT, and actually a chance meeting with Dr. Darshana Pawar on the staircase of Grand Hyatt Hotel for ISAR paved the way for our rec center in Nagpur. And let me tell you that Dr. Nikunj Pawar and Dr. Darshana Pawar are selfless people who literally are, you can say, men of action. And they saw to it that whole of Central India must benefit from this therapy. So thank you, Nandita. Thank you, Dr. Darshana, and thank you, Dr. Nikunj, for this.
We are also thankful to Dr. Amiti, Dr. Rohan, and Mr. Singh, Amrish Singh. I am really thankful to you to share your experiences. And Dr. Afshan, she is second time pregnant. She's in the 8th month, but she volunteered to come and speak here. I'm really thankful to her. I think she must have left. No, she's there. Oh, she's there. Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. And of course, yes, I am thankful to our teachers who are in the audience, our colleagues, gynecologists, other doctor friends, and of course, all of you who are present here. For this occasion. And thank you all for being here and grace the occasion. And last but not the least, we have a representative from Springer here, Ms. Raman Shukla. So we are absolutely thankful to Springer for giving us the opportunity, then doing the work, doing an excellent work, and giving us this opportunity to present this book or launch this book here.
And last but not the least, I would like to thank the Master of Ceremonies. Our daughter Mugdha Raut, who's a lawyer, and our son-in-law Ashwin Pantula, who's also a lawyer. When we decided that we needed someone from the family to be a Master of Ceremonies, I immediately messaged her that, Nupur, will you all become Master of Ceremonies? And she said, yes, we would love to, because they have been so integral in this whole book process that they would really like to share this, and all of it has come from their heart. So, and our younger daughter, Natasha, who's not here, she's in US studying molecular biology and data science, and she was the one who helped us bring our data together and present it in the right way. So, Nupur, please convey our thanks to her. Yeah, and of course, thank you to the whole GEO team. I would like to thank Mr. Karan, without whose wholehearted support this event would not be possible in our busy schedule. He was like a backbone. Don't worry, I am there, ho jayega. And literally ho gaya. Thank you, Karan. And his entire team, and a very, very big thank you to Mr. Piyush Bhatia, who literally has pushed us into doing this event today. Thank you, Piyush.
Piyush, stand up, please.
Piyush, stand up, please. And a thank you to my father-in-law, who is 92, for some of them who don't know, who has taught my husband, who has instilled in him the love for reading. And we wanted him to be a part of this book, and I'm very grateful to him that he came here from 5:30 and he's here. He's 92 years old, and he wanted to be a part of this. Thank you, Nana.
Dinesh, bar is ready.
You can all proceed for dinner. There's a small token of love outside for those who've picked up. Thanks a lot. For those who haven't picked it up, please pick up. There's a small token of love waiting outside.
Hello? Just 1 minute. One more thing, just important thing I just want to announce. Springer is ready to give this book at a discounted price. The discount may vary from 25 to 40% depending on the numbers of registration, the people who register who want to buy. So you can give your names.
Philip. Hello, check. Yeah. On here. हाँ एक ही है हाँ अरे बाप रे it actually got the lights so that thank you so much sir thank you so much sir. Thank you for attending actually it's a great opportunity. Check check hello check 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 hello hello it's okay is it okay ठीक है ना हाँ sure no sound okay yeah can hear okay are we ready sir okay so thank you so much for joining us here today so I wanted to ask you a couple of things what did you think of this event and this book launch and what do you think is the relevance of LIT to practice today?
First of all, I would like to thank you and Mummy and Daddy for inviting me to this on this occasion. You have done a wonderful job, and Mugdha was my student, and I am so proud of both of them. They have done a wonderful job. And not only that, this event was excellent, and I think this event is needed because people, this thing should spread amongst the gynecologists, non-gynecologists, and patients also. Because I think it is very, very relevant. I had an opportunity to send a couple of patients and they have come out with good results. Of course, now I'll send more and more. And my son is in IVF, he is Dr. Anand Nanavati. And he was also very impressed. He deals with these repeated failures and all. And I think this will help him a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Check, check. Okay, thank you so much for joining us here today, sir.
So what did you think about the event, and what do you think is the relevance of lymphocyte immunization therapy in the world today?
Thank you. I am a cardiac surgeon, by the way, and it was just sheer love for Mohan and Mugdha that has brought me from Nagpur to this place. And I was, in fact, introduced to Mohan and Mugdha by my wife, Darshana. And one thing led to another, and they decided to start their first out of Mumbai center in Nagpur. And my hospital, which is Cardion Hospital, we just had a little talk and chit chat, and we initially sort of landed up in getting their center up and running in Nagpur. They have already come about, I think so, 8 times now. They come once a month. And yeah, lymphocyte immunotherapy, as you asked me, was a pretty interesting thing, because my wife, Dr. Darshana, she was very convinced about the therapy. And I said, then why don't you ask them whether they will do it in Nagpur? So that's how it came, you know. And it's a very proud moment for us at Cardion Hospital that we get Dr. Mugdha to give their services to the less fortunate in our region, which is Central India. You don't have that people with not so much of money. So they come there once a month and they give their services. And what I'm to understand is they seem to be doing pretty good and have excellent results of the treatment that they are doing there. And I wish them absolute good luck for all their future endeavors which they have been telling us, and a massive success to this book, which would, I am sure, come into multiple editions in future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Navina Singh. Thank you for joining us here today. What did you think about the event, and what do you think is the relevance of lymphocyte immunization therapy in reproductive failures?
First of all, I want to congratulate Dr. Raut and Dr. Mugdha Raut and Dr. Mohan Raut for such an excellent work in the field of reproductive medicine. And just to tell that reproductive medicine does consist of many sub-branches, and in that the most difficult part is
which I feel all the fertility specialists must have been waited, because this topic is something what we have read in articles till now, and topic was needed, or you can say this is a demand in the field of reproductive medicine, where we need the complete knowledge about this topic under one roof. And I'm very sure with this book we would be able to gather all the related information about this therapy in this one book. And since everyone knows that IVF is a very emotional thing, not only uh, it involves finance, it does involve families and a lot of emotions. And when we say that the patient is
One
one
IVF
IVF
or
or
failure, or if it is 12 IVF failures, failure is a failure. That emotion remains same whether you are a one IVF failure or a multiple IVF failure. But the thing is that not only the couple goes under that trauma, the whole family also goes under that trauma, along with, as I told, the financial part. With various reasons of the reproductive, or you say recurrent implantation failures or IVF failures, lymphocyte immunization therapy has what we commonly call as a LIT, has come as a boon to these patients, where we are able to actually find and treat them and help them with some explanation, where we have some reason why your cycle was failed. Because even after giving all the treatments or what all options are there, still we find that we don't have any relevant answer, and where this lit therapy has been very beneficial. So yes, it is the future of reproductive field, and I would encourage all the budding fertility specialists as well as all the gynecologists to understand about this therapy, because as early referral, which was very important factor told by Dr. Mugdha Raut, is very important. Just understanding the reason and correct time to analyze the case and the correct referral is very important. Just please don't go blindly writing all the investigation or whatever possible treatment present in the reproductive field. In spite, do a personalized treatment plan for individual cases. That is my opinion to all the budding fertility specialists. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am. Thank you for coming to the event and for talking to us. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Amity Agrawal, for. Are? Thank you, Dr. Amity Agrawal, for joining us today. What did you think about the event?
Good evening. It was a fantastic event, especially coming from Mugdha ma'am and Mohan sir. Love, lot of care, guidance, and it's really amazing that they have launched this amazing book. I read through the entire book, and I think this particular field, that is the the whole immunity part, reproductive immunology, it's a very untouched, undiscovered area in the field of IVF, as well as in patients who are having recurrent IVF failures. So it's very good that ma'am and sir have come forth and they have launched this book, which gives a good insight into what exactly is immunology, what investigation need to do, what is the procedure all about, how do we go about it, how many sittings are needed, what is the safety. So they've almost captured all the aspects which are there in this particular branch, and the event is really amazing. I met my mentors, I met my teachers, gurus, a lot of my friends, and it was really, really nice, the kind of passion and the kind of love ma'am and sir have about the subject. That is very evident by the way they talk about the subject. Personally, a lot of my patients have really, really benefited from this therapy. So I have a lot of faith in this. The minute I see a patient who's had more than 2 miscarriages, the minute I see a patient who's had, even more than 2 IVF failures, the first name that comes into my mind is Mugdha ma'am and sir, that now we need to see the immunology part. And luckily, I have always gone back very happy. I've always had a very good success rate with them. All the patients that I have sent to her, believe it or not, almost 80-85% patients are pregnant now.
So you think that LIT is the future of reproductive medicine? And
Most certainly. In fact, I think future would still be a far-fetched thing. It is the present of immunology. As I already said before, that we are coming across a lot of patients now who are having repeated failures, who are having recurrent miscarriages, which is where immunology comes in the picture. As a doctor, a patient will always ask you that why have I failed? You just cannot say that, oh, it's your bad luck, it's not in your destiny, that's why you didn't conceive. That's a very silly way to deal with the subject. You always have to have an answer to the patient. The patient will ask you,
thank you so much, Dr. Anand Nanavati, for joining us. What did you think of the event?
The event was very enlightening because this is something that is important in the next coming years. We get a lot of unexplained infertility cases, and where you rule out genetic factors, you rule out uterine factors, everything is ruled out. Still there are IVF failures, still there are miscarriages, and then you come to immunology. Immunology is very complex. We don't have a full grasp on the subject yet, and that's where Dr. Mohan Raut and Dr. Mugdha Raut have done their specialization, and we are very thankful, we are very grateful that we have them in the city of Bombay, where we can easily access, our patients can easily access. And now it's something that I am going to start. I've not gone into that field yet, but I am so grateful that they are just a phone call away, and we can just send our patients because they really need help, and I think this will be very beneficial.
So what you're saying is that LIT could be the future of reproductive medicine, and
Yeah, absolutely, because as Dr. Agarwal said that there's nothing like unexplained infertility. I think there is always a cause. It's just that studies abroad are taken as benchmark, and that's not always the whole truth, because they have probably not ventured into this. So we need to start questioning every aspect of the human body, and this is something now that we are going into, and this is going to be the future. Yeah.
thank you so much, Dr. Anand Nanavati, for joining us. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Nitin Rao, for joining us. What did you think of the event?
Frankly, Ashwin, I think. Ashwin? Ashwin, you said it's a formal function, but I felt more like it was a home function. It was like a family function. Frankly speaking, Mohan and Mugdha have been like family members because they were a couple of years junior to me. And I have seen their dedication and their hard work for many years now. And this is today is the fruits of their labor. They very well deserve it. And there were many people who were doubting the kind of work they were doing, but they stuck to it. They were confident in what they were doing, and we can see the fruits of their labor right now.
What do you think about LIT in reproductive failures? What are your thoughts?
To be very frank with you, I'll confess that reproductive immunology is one subject I had kept as an option because it's a very difficult subject. They have made it much easy, but actually it's a very difficult subject to understand. Even the basic physiology. And now they're going to go into the applications of it on treatment. So that's an even more complicated subject. So frankly speaking, the subject is very, very complicated, but we are seeing the results. That's more important. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. So we are seeing the results in women who've had reproductive failures, and it's going to come up in a big way.
And perhaps, I mean, because it's a difficult subject, I suppose the book makes all the more sense.
Pardon?
Because it's a difficult subject, the book makes all the more sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's not every gynec's cup of tea. You have to be dedicated. You have to understand who needs this kind of treatment. The pre-LIT tests that are done, you have to understand those and then only apply this. So it's not for everybody.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nitin Rao, for being here and joining us today. Thank you. थोड़ा 1 मिनट वेट करें चेक Thank you, Mr. Piyush Bhatia, for joining us today. What did you think of the event?
I think the event was really awesome, wonderful, a fantastic experience. Very senior dignitaries from the medical field were there, and the way the session started was organized, conducted. It was an awesome session.
Why did you think so? You are like the brains behind this event in some ways. You were the one who pushed Dr. Mohan and Dr. Mugdha Raut to have this event. So why did you think that such a book launch was necessary?
Yeah, so Dr. Mohan and Dr. Mugdha Raut have been doing excellent, phenomenal work in LIT, and they are the ones who have researched, developed this technology, which is helping a lot of patients who are struggling to be parents. And they have also published a book, they've written a book, and with a very renowned publication, which is Springer. But it was also very important to educate the world about the work they have been doing, the entire documentation that they have done of the entire process. So I think to the entire gynec community, to the medical community, also awareness had to be done to people in general as well. So I thought this is the book launch is the best way to communicate, especially to the gynec community and to people in general. So I thought of that, and they did that, and you were the host, and you and your wife were the host. It was an excellent event. Thank you.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for, guiding us through this process and for just being the backbone throughout this journey. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
To meet you finally. I've never met you before. I've heard. I know Nupur, obviously.
Check. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Neeraj Shah, for joining us. What did you think of the event?
I think it was a fabulous event. I think when Mugdha and Mohan had got the email from Springer, I'd been telling them that the incredible work that you are doing with LIT, people need to know. I think there are two lots of people that need to know. People from the doctor fraternity, the gynacs, and also patients who have suffered multiple miscarriages. It's a very traumatic event. Many have given up hope. And I think this book is a landmark book because they're the first to write about it, to have researched it, and to have got incredible results. So I think people needed to know, and I think this was the best way to do so.
You have been, instrumental in helping Dr. Raut expand. What is your general suggestion to anyone who's thinking of trying something completely new, completely disruptive, whether it's in the medical field or in some other field? What are some of the things that people with disruptive ideas need to keep in mind?
So in the next 5 years, we're going to see more change than has happened in the last 100 years. AI is disrupting every single industry. So you've got to incorporate AI, and if you can become a specialist in whatever you are doing, okay, and begin to train the AI in the specialism, you will be able to disrupt your industry and stay ahead of the game. So it's very exciting times that are there, and if people don't take these proactive steps, and if they say, oh, I'll wait until I become an expert, but let's face it, in AI, no one is an expert because it's changing so fast. So anyone who dives into it and simply starts doing it, using it, will then, if they record their story and results, that's how they're going to be able to stay ahead.
Dr. Shah, thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks a lot.